Welcome back to the Taurus channel. It is like 7:30, 8 o'clock, something like that. The sun is finally setting. I'm still sweating. Fan running, the whole nine. I know it's loud, so I'm going to try to work around it as best I can. Sorry that it's loud. Just bear with me. I really don't feel like dying from heat stroke. I can probably tone it down a bit. That might help as far as microphone goes, but I don't think it's going to change much. So anyhow, this is the Taurus G3. It's in pieces. All right, look guys, it's easy. Just like Glock, pull down, pull trigger, take the slide off. Okay, that's how it comes off. Everything else outside of that, it's explanatory. You pull your spring, pull your barrel, bam, boom. You see me do it a million times. It's just like a Glock as far as that disassembly. As you can see, there's Kydex all over this thing here. Okay, that's pretty bad. The barrel is even worse. Like, that's just full of gunk in there, just full of it. So you see what I'm dealing with. I mean, look at the mag. Okay, that's what I'm dealing with. Okay, I have wiped this down. I have cleaned this down. I want to go into something with this gun. It's very specific. I talked about it the other night. I haven't actually shown it on my channel, but I'm going to show you guys something cool about this gun. And very different and very difficult to deal with, okay? You guys have to bear with me. I don't have my phone standing out here to point you directly at the gun. I'm sorry, I don't have that, but I know where we're at right now. So, you have your upper, your slide, pull your firing pin. It's very simple. It's sitting in the gun like this. You'll see a space between this yellow and this pin right here. Very much like that right there. All you do is take your pin, grab that yellow with your pin, and you pull down on it towards the front, right? And that allows the yellow in the back here to slip inside like that. And then you just slide your back plate off. Again, make sure your thumb's up top covering it. You don't want to lose that. This will come flying out of the gun if not. Otherwise, just pull it out, let you get it done. Bam, boom, done. Easy. Okay, what you can't see, I'm gonna put a light on it, is that tiny little hole right there. That hole right there, that little bitty hole, not this big round piece right here, this little bitty hole. Okay, that is a spring-loaded extractor pin. Okay, that little bitty pin right there that you can see, that little bitty hole where my ring finger is right there, that little bitty hole is what goes up this way inside the gun and holds this bar right here, which is the extractor. Holds this. You see there's no hole on top. Okay, it's not a push-through pin. That's what holds the extractor right here. To get rid of that, all you do is you take your pin and you press on it, okay? So I'm not going to use a hammer or nothing. I'm going to press on it. Now, I'm probably going to need a few taps. I'm just going to grab my other pin, which is a hair too big to do this. Just line up on top of that. And let go. That was it. Let go. Alright? Let go of the extractor. Just like that. So now, if you look at the gun, this way, you can see that it's now sticking out. Keep your thumb, finger over top. Just going to lift it out of there. Lift it back and forth, lift it out of there. It's going to want to go to the front of the gun. Pull it out of there. Okay. That came out. It goes in the same way. It's a hinge piece. It goes in the same way. Okay, you see this big giant half moon cut out and this tiny little hole. That tiny little hole is where the spring-loaded pin that comes back into the gun sits. This only goes in the gun one way. It doesn't go in the gun this way, obviously. It rotates in like this, alright? And you have to press that spring-loaded pin back this way, set it down, to come back in. Now what you're missing is this notch right here is there for a reason. That notch is to receive this spring, this tiny little spring. So graduated spring has a fat end and a small end. Okay, so graduated spring has a fat end and a small end. That fat end goes down in the gun and a recessed area that receives the spring. We'll talk about that in a second. I'm going to show you guys that now. You're going to see a top-down view of what it looks like. Okay. All right. You see there's two pins there. All right. Big pin, small pin. Both of those are spring-loaded. There's tiny springs behind them. They are in there for a reason. There's tiny, tiny springs in there. Do not lose them. Do not lose them. They are tiny. They won't come shooting out of the gun, but they are absolutely tiny. You could lose them in a heartbeat. Don't do that. Otherwise, you're going to be looking for a kit, because they don't sell these springs by themselves. Taurus does not sell these springs by themselves. You're going to be looking for a kit. You're going to get a whole new extractor. A whole new extractor kit. That's what you're at. Get it back in. Pretty simple. I'm going to try to touch you guys to the point you can see what I'm doing here. Pretty simple. Take your graduated spring. Line it back up. Excuse me. Back up in the hole it goes into. Line it back up. And that hole right there. Make sure it's standing vertical. The gun's on the side. The slide is on the side, not the gun. This is the gun. This is the slide. You don't get out of here. Alright, you're going to take your extractor. You're going to rock it in there. It's going to go in the front first here, coming back like this. Alright, while you're doing that, you're going to take your center punch pin, your fine tip pin, and you're going to press on that spring loaded. You press on the big one first. Alright, that's what I did just now. Pressed on the big one, got it to drop. Receive with that big half moon. Okay, that's what that is now. Now I'm fighting the lead coil spring. So I'm going to press on that tiny little pin. Tiny little pin, push it straight down. And it's not going straight down. There it goes. Big pin, small pin, float them together. Make sure your spring is still standing up straight in the back of the extractor system. Press it down. And then press your extractor down. So you see it's sticking up just a little bit. I'm just pressing down on that. Okay. All I'm doing is just pressing down on that. Floating. Now I had a hell of a time doing this the first time, so we're going to try it again. I think I missed my secondary spring. Well, my third spring. Technically speaking, I think I missed my third spring being straight. The graduated spring did not end up going straight yet. See, I just lost one right out. Just lost one, and it was the tiny little spring system. Okay, you guys have to be careful. This will happen to you. Okay, this can happen to you a lot faster than you think. It is a tiny spring system. I don't want to bounce my chair. So I'm keeping the seat the best I can. I'm going to sit up. There's the pin. And there's the tiny little spring that I still can't. There it is. Okay. I mean, ladies and gentlemen, ladies, I'm telling you, this is how small the spring is. That's how small it is. It receives into the back cap of this. You'll see as the top is a pin. That pin rests inside this extractor, like so. Okay, rests in the extractor like so. Boom. So, this is a pain in the butt. Do not lose this. You'll be looking for a whole new set. Okay, a brand new, whole new set. And grab our graduated spring here, knock it up right, try to knock it up right. Okay, put our spring-loaded graduated spring system into its housing. Take our extractor bar, rock it in left to right, knock our big bar down. Alright, take our small bar, press it. I'm going to try to guide my spring into where it needs to go. Guide the spring into where it needs to go. Like so. we go. We're in business on this one. Feel it. Yeah, you hear it pop. You guys probably didn't hear it pop. I felt it pop. It's all good. Flush now. And the spring is back in place where it needs to be. Okay. Back in place where it needs to be. There's that tiny little pin right there. You want to check it visually to make sure it's seated all the way. It is seated all the way, but we're going to go ahead and press on it just in case. Get my flat face pin right here. This is a flat face pin, not a pin, pointed pin, but it's a flat face pin. So press on it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. Press on it really hard. So I'm just pressing on it. All I did was take the pin, push on it, and just press it to make sure it's seated all the way. Definitely seated all the way. Definitely all the way in the gun now. Definitely seated all the way. Definitely see it better now. All right, now reverse order. All you're gonna do is you're gonna take your firing pin system. Let's wipe down the back real quick. The back plate is nasty, dirty, ugly. So the Kydex, just wipe it down real quick because I have stuff in the brush. Down. It's going to take me about 10 seconds here. 10 seconds. Wipe down. Clean. Wipe the perimeter of it. Okay, cool. Back plate's clean. Take my firing pin. Look back into the center line of the gun here. When you get down far enough, you're going to want to push in this big circle right here. That's going to let that down. Now I take my square top pin here. Alright, we're going to do this in reverse order for me. Here for you. All I'm doing is I'm pressing down on this yellow. That's all I'm doing, just pressing down this yellow. Okay, holding it flat. Take my backslide, put it in the grooves that it rides in. Right there, those grooves that it rides in. Alright, and it's just going to come forward. Now I'm going to keep my thumb over top of this now. Press down on the yellow, make sure it's all the way down. All I did was hold down this right here. Like that. Okay. Pull that in. Let go. It's in. It's all the way. It's all the way in. Example done. Gun functions now. Okay. I'm starting to see extra cuts. Let's get that out of there. But yeah, that's how this works. Spring loaded reset bars on extractors are a pain to replace. They're a pain to take apart because the potential possibility of losing those tiny springs and those tiny pins are extremely high. Easy to do so. So the Taurus G3 disassembles like a Glock from the top end to field strip. You want to take the extractor and the firing pin out, pull down the yellow, take the back plate off, and cover the back plate with your thumb as you do so, so you don't lose your firing pin and your spring. Spring loaded retention bar on the extractor. You have to press that tiny little hole. Extractor bar will let go, pull, rock out the extractor bar. There's a spring behind it. Okay, so you have 3 springs. The spring behind it is obviously bigger than the other 2. That's fine, you can't mistake it. It goes in there with the extractor bar. One tiny little spring for one tiny little pin, and one mediumly tiny spring for one medium tiny spring. Okay, pin. Can't miss them. They go in the same way they came in. They're all different sizes. They only start one way. That's how it's found. But that's how you take a spring-loaded extractor bar out. Thanks for watching. See you guys in the next episode.